Hello beautiful dancer, this is Joana Saahirah with a video about Tarab and transcendence and how to experience both of them. I'm sure you've heard about Tarab from different dancers and different teachers. I've written about it many times. I've recorded videos about this subject. I've given interviews about this subject. So there is a lot of material available out there. The main question which nobody tackles, including me, is how to get there, how to experience Tarab, how to experience this sense of transcendence, of ecstasy, of elevation. And let me start by reminding you of what Tarab means very shortly. So we're talking about an Arabic word which is not a dance style, but it's not a musical style as is often marketed. Tarab is a word that translates roughly a state of, as I mentioned, ecstasy, bliss, transcendence, any experience that makes me go out of my body and somehow reach my soul, get in contact with my soul, like a sort of meditation, if you like a sort of orgasmic experience when you're drawn out of your physical body and suddenly you are, floating in space, elevated in a completely different place, digging deep into your unconscious world, your unconscious mind. Tarab is very connected with Dionysus or Bacchus, the Greek and Roman god of wine and music and wildness and madness. The experience of Tarab itself requires an ability to get lost in the moment, to get drunk, metaphorically speaking. How do you get drunk? You can get drunk on life. You can get drunk on music. You can get drunk on alcohol, of course, but I don't advise you that. You can get drunk when you're making love with someone you're really, really close to and you feel like you are really lost in that moment and there is no rational mind anymore. It's pure heart, it's pure emotion, it's pure, you know, floating in the universe, if you like. So this experience of Tarab, not only it's not a dance style or a musical style, but it's something that can be related to many things, not only to Egyptian dance or to the Egyptian field. It's really an experience that can be applied to many things in our lives, okay? So when you're sitting still and you are observing the birds, imagine these trees behind me, and you can have a moment of Tarab, you can have a moment of transcendence where you forget about yourself and you are present in your soul, in your spirit. Now, why is it so hard? More than understanding it, applying it. Why it is so hard? And this is something that my students ask me all the time. Okay, I get it. I get the meaning of Torah, but how do I do it? And this is really what matters, because knowing the concept is of no use if you cannot apply the concept, right? So there are certain tips, okay? There is not one complete answer that I can give you in a video. You will have to be trained in order to gradually understand and know how to reach that state of Tarab. It takes time and it takes many skills, but I can give you a few tips for now. So the first tip to reach a state of Tarab or transcendence is to be absolutely present. And I know this sounds obvious, but it's not. Lots of the things that I share with you in my courses and in my free content, after I've said them, you will go, yeah, that makes sense, that's obvious. But in fact, nobody is saying this, and these things should be said clearly so that people are aware and they start doing them. So being present is rare. Most of the dances that I trained around the world or in my online school are half there and half absent. Most of our head is busy with what should I be doing after this, where do I have to go, what time is it, what are my colleagues doing, what's happening around me. I have to check my Instagram feed, I have to check my email, I have to check that shopping bag that I left, I don't know where. I have to see, I have to talk, I have to... There is a kind of non-stop internal talk that takes you away from the moment. And what Tarab demands, it's the ability to be present, not projecting yourself in the future or in the past. This is in itself a meditative attitude. If you're able to be present in what you're doing without projecting yourself in the past or in the future, you are already somehow into a state of Tarab, though light. You are already there somehow. So the first tip is to become more present. Take away the mobile, switch it off, take away the clocks. Keep your dance practice time only for yourself. Breathe. Start your dance practice with 1 minute of closing your eyes and just breathing and paying attention to the air that goes in, that you inhale, and the air that you exhale, the air that goes out. Make being present the core of your dance. This would be my tip number 1. Tip number 2. In order to reach a state of Tarab, you have to listen. And my students know this because I speak about breathing and listening all the time. I say, breathe, 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 listen, listen, listen. It's like, like a parrot mantra that I keep on repeating and repeating. So you gotta listen. Listen to what? Listen to your own breath. If you're not able to listen to your own breath, you're not able to listen to the music. Write that down. Write it down. If you're not able to listen to your own breath, to be comfortable with listening to, you will not be comfortable with listening to the musical piece. So when I speak about listening, I'm not only speaking about the music, I'm speaking before the music, the ability to listen to the silence and your own breath. Okay? And about this, there is so much to say. I'm not going to go into that right now. These are just small tips to start to awaken you a little bit, okay? So first tip, be present. Second tip, listen to your own breath and then to the music. Third tip, forget about perfection. Forget about the illusion of perfection. And this is another one that you may write down. Forget about the illusion of perfection. Because our concern, our obsession on being perfect, whatever that means, takes us away from the state of surrendering to the moment that an experience of Tarab demands. Our focus on our idea of perfection do not allow us to let go, does not allow us to listen and react and let the body speak and let the heart speak. We will be always in control. We will bring our rational mind to the surface all the time and make it control the process, and that would stop you always from reaching a state of Tarab or transcendence, because Tarab or transcendence is related to the soul, it's related to the heart, it's not related to the rational mind. So when you put your rational mind in control of your dance because you're so afraid of not fitting your idea of perfectionism, you are sabotaging your experience. You are stopping yourself from reaching that state of ecstasy, from reaching that state of absolute peace and fulfillment. So this would be my third tip. And then again, there is so much to be taught about this subject, so much. It is not the content of this video. I would spend hours here only speaking about this, okay? So let's see if you understand it. The third tip is to drop the illusion of perfection. Whatever you think is perfect, keep it aside. Just save a part of your dance practice to be imperfect. Make it a goal. I'm gonna screw up. I'm gonna be imperfect, but I will be in the moment. I will be present. I will listen deeply to my own breath and to the music. And I will allow myself to screw up. No problem. Nobody will die. And see what happens. Okay? Fourth and last tip for this video about Tarab and how to reach a state of Tarab has to do with having an open heart and not being afraid of being vulnerable. This is a hard one, and again, an whole chapter of a book should be written about this. Yeah, being open in your heart, this heart chakra, not being afraid of vulnerability, because when you drop the control of your rational mind, you become exposed in your most intimate self, which is your soul, which is your heart. It's your inner world. And most of us are not comfortable with that exposure. We think that vulnerability is weakness. We think that opening our heart will only bring trouble, will only bring us pain and hurt. And I know there are many reasons for that. Again, I'm not going to go into that. But if you want to do Egyptian dance as an art form, and if you want to experience all this richness of dimensions that it offers, and if you want to go for a Tarab experience, not once or twice, but every time that you dance, you have to give a step forward and you have to open up and take risks. And the highest risk for human beings is to open the heart. It's to be vulnerable emotionally. This would be my fourth tip. Now notice that these tips I've just given you to help you experience Tarab or transcendence are things that will not only help you in your dance but help you in your life. You already know what I think about Egyptian dance. Everything that applies to it also applies to life. So it's interesting that you start to apply these things not only when you're dancing but in your regular life. Be more present. Be more in the now. Don't project so much. Don't live in the past so much, and don't live in the future so much. Bring more moments of now, of awareness of where I am now. What am I doing? I'm shooting this video for you. I don't want to think about what I will do next. I'm just here with you, totally with you. I don't want to be anywhere else. And then when I do something else, I will be there totally. I will bring myself totally there. Mind, body, heart and soul, yeah? Listen more, listen to yourself, listen to others, listen to the silence, listen to nature. Learn how to listen. Learn. Quit the illusion of perfection. What does it mean, a perfect dance? What does it mean, a perfect movement? What does it mean, a perfect person? What does it mean, a perfect life? Does that exist? Eliminate the illusion of perfection. There is no such thing as perfection. Everybody has their own idea of perfection. It's just a construction. And last but not least, open your heart and become more vulnerable in your dance and in your life. I know it's hard. I know it's hard and it feels like dying somehow, because part of it, it's dying, you have to allow old parts of yourself or old ways of doing things in order to do differently, in order to be a better version of yourself, in order to dance and to live in a better, more evolved manner. So yes, it feels like death, and it feels like risky, and it feels like uncertain. That's how evolution feels when you're going through it. So do it. I hope this video has inspired you and guided you. I will see you at Joana Saahirah's online dance school and my private online courses or somewhere around the world. And until then, I'm leaving you, you know how, with love and a kiss. Mwah.